wanted to talk about this because I think for the most part, K-pop is um, coming up on this brick wall of if it'll be able to sustain itself or not, because I'm starting to see a lot of people, call it out for what it is or recognize it, and they are not liking what they're seeing. I know I don't. I'm not this big, huge K-pop fan. I have heard a few songs before K-pop was this thing. I would listen to certain songs that, were sung in either Japanese or Chinese or whatever, but they were modern songs. And I did look at a few K-pop songs, and as I started to see more and more groups, it made me kind of fall away from that because I could definitely see the copying and the actual stealing that's going on with these groups and with these management companies. And it put a bad taste in my mouth, and it's bad. But I wanted to speak about BTS and the HBCU situation. I wanted to throw in my two pennies since they'll be discontinued eventually, right? So in 1896, there were 7 Korean immigrants that were turned away from PWIs. These were colleges, primarily white colleges, and the only college that opened its doors to them was the HBCU Howard. All the whites told them to get their Asian asses away from their institution before they end up next to the N words hard ER in a tree. Basically, that's how I saw that going during that time of 1896. Now, the only people that showed grace, kindness, and humanity were Black people and a historically Black college, Howard. After being able to attend Howard, they were able to learn English, get their education, and create a song about their experience. So, fast forward to 2026, and the BTS group, a popular K-pop boy band, which they're grown men now. I think they're all in their 30s or close to it, mid 30s to early 30s, released an animated reel about this historical event. I did go and watch it just to see what was going on, and then I understood the backlash and the offense. To cover their asses, with management at the top trying to cover their asses, they stated the images in the teaser may not reflect actual events true to history. So that if anything happens, that little message was supposed to catch the bullshit, I guess. So that statement in itself shows how intentional the disrespect was. 2 Black people and the rest were white at Howard University listening to 7 Koreans sing Arirang in 1896. Okay. They are so anti-Black. They couldn't even respect Howard and how it was in the year of 1896. That is so deplorable. It's sad but disgusting. The reasons why I say this was intentional is because Google is free 99. You can go on there, you can look up scholarly journals, you can do deep research if you want to. Even if you were doing light research, you would be able to see what Howard was, the history behind Howard, and everything. So you could do a complete realistic animation of history at that time, because it is not reflective of today where you have an arena of multiple different people that you see. In 1896, the fact that they couldn't step foot on a colorless college and get an education tells you everything that you need to know about that time period and what's going on. And it may even kickstart that further research just to see, well, why wasn't it? Just asking that question. If you want to act dumb, I'll treat you dumb. So just knowing that they were turned away from any other college and that's the only one they could go to, your question is why? And you would look into that. The second reason is historical educators. You have enough money that if you really wanted to know, if you wanted a synopsis of what was going on during that time, there are many historical educators who could give you what you need in regard to understanding those times in America. And third, what they could have done is they could have mentioned Howard University. But they could have put the focus on the 7 Korean immigrants without showing the 2 black people and the rest being white on that campus during 1896. They could have done that. They didn't have to animate people. They could have just showed them singing, and they could have just had Howard, the school, in the background and them singing. They could have completely focused on the 7 Korean immigrants who went to that school. And they did not have to show that. They intentionally did that shit. And now you have these K-pop fans and these BTS stans, which are on a level of Taylor Swift's stans. Who gives a fuck if they have something to say? You know they're not logical. They're going to defend the indefensible because they are so hot and bothered and turned on by one of these boys in this group. So who's going to listen to them as if they have any sense, as if they know anything, as if they're not anti-black, as if they're not racist? And no, I didn't say all of you. I said a majority of you. And you can be mad at that if you want to. They are extremely, extremely anti-black. They don't like the people, but they are swaggerjacking the culture. It's fucking filthy to do. They literally, I literally saw someone in a video talking about they should keep the K-pop groups Korean, that other people shouldn't be allowed to be in the group that is of a different ethnicity or a different race. Who the fuck? And anyway, oh my God, like, who in the hell do you think you are? You know, just seeing that animation, just seeing that they wrote that little dialogue in there to cover their ass because they knew what they were doing is so fucking weak to me. It's so weak because there is no reason to whitewash Howard. And they did it because I believe it's a part of their culture. I think whitewashing is a part of their culture. It just shows that they're weak and they're infected with colorless hegemony ideology. It's white hegemony ideology. They consume it. They believe it. That's why you have these filters that look the way they do. They praise pale and white skin. And I'm sorry, there was a Korean girl who was on here who she just laid out the whole truth. And the only thing that they can say is not all, not all. And again, nobody is saying all. We're saying too many or majority. There's this specific look of being extremely, extremely thin, and it's more for me is the pale skin that looks unnaturally pale. It kind of harkens back to a time in Europeanness, colorlessness, that they thought being close to death was the most beautiful thing, that it would make you look pale, it would make them look sick, but that paleness was close to death, which was seen as beauty. That's what this is giving. A lot will say, no, it has to do with your status. Basically, if you were pale, you weren't outside working, you were rich and wealthy. So everybody wants to look like they're rich and wealthy, which is bullshit. You want to look Western is what you want. You want to look like a pale, blonde hair, blue-eyed person from the West. That's what you like. That's what you're emulating. There's history behind this look. Okay, the first surgeries that I heard of was the double eyelid surgeries, and now you have all these whitening and lightening creams. We went through this in America as well. It's in Africa and heavy in Asia and Indian culture. The blanqueamiento, I'll just call it that, purifying the race, washing the Negro or the black out, is basically what it is. And if you look in Asian culture, you can track it back to a certain group of people that are from Africa and all of that. I'm not going into that, but the whitewashing and the bending the knee to colorlessness, it's gross. And I can say this is why I left K-pop alone, aka blackness without the black people. Is what it is. I left that alone because I could see the swagger jacking and the theft of black music, style, attitude, presence, sauce, and so much more. From the afros, the braids, the way we style our outfits, R&B, rap, all of that. And this disgusts me because I've had enough of it from the Kardashians. Now you have Koreans who are saying keep it Korean. It was never fucking Korean to keep Korean. And it's not borrowing from American or Western music. It's black music. All of it is black. And you know what's crazy to me is, and what shows the intentionality of all of this, is because when I mentioned the Kardashians, which is funny because Asians were up in arms about Kim Kardashian trademarking Kimoto when she was designing her Skims. Yeah, she wanted to trademark Komodo. Oh, and they just went off on her. But yet, that's crazy. You know what it's like for somebody to take something that's yours, that you created, but then you turn around and you do the same shit to black people. And I think the thing that irritates me the most about this is any black person that is a K-pop fan is an embarrassment to their people. You keep taking L's, and that's why people are so emboldened to treat black people like ish. You have no effing shame. You get what you get when these people attack you and play in your face, because they've been doing it for a very long time. They can't be popular without taking the creations of black people. They cannot take their own culture and everything that it's steeped to and present it and have the world take interest in it. There has to be some blackness somewhere. And this goes for the whites and the Hispanics too. They are giving themselves permission to say the N word, because some of you coon ninjas laugh along with that and give out N word passes. And now they're in the media saying the N word like everything is cool and it's okay. When your black ass could never call them the C word. You can never call an Asian a C word and them not get up in arms. You could never call a Jewish person the K word. You could never call a Hispanic person the W word or the S word and everything is cool. Or the B word, not saying the ER version, but put an A on the end of that and see if it's taken as a nice gesture. You're sottish, you're weak, you're defeated nickels that allow the disrespect. And it's sickening. Because there was also comments from the one girl, I don't think that she's black. Somebody took that picture and just put it up there because they do that stuff a lot. The colorless people, they'll take a picture of a black person, put it in their profile, trying to pretend like, and as a black person, you don't, it's easy to spot because it's the way they talk. And so they type out their comment the same way. So it's noticeable. But you do have your Rocket Raccoons who they are so weak and defeated that, yeah, they'll lay down on their front and let somebody wipe their boots off on their back. So, yeah. Personally, I can say that I did listen to K-pop songs. Not much. I'm not someone who, oh, I'm going to go to a concert. Oh my God, I'm going to buy an album. Oh, I'm going to purchase a song. Oh, no, I just listened to, a few songs that I happened to come by. I am much more of a gamer and into anime. I would get the full songs to the intro and outro of many of my favorite anime shows and even video games, certain music that's in there that I may like, and I'll find the song and I'll get it. I have celebrated the Chinese New Year because it lines up with many celebrations for me personally in February. I cook some Asian dishes, but there has always been a wall up for me. I could never be real friends because of the wall that's up. And it's my understanding of colorism that's heavy within the different Asian cultures, the anti-blackness and straight up racism. The model minority trope that Asian Americans play into, and the fact that you can have so much venom for black people who have done nothing to you, yet you have so much reverence toward your colonizer. I have this feeling that they would forgive the people who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki before they would ever accept a black. That's just personally how I feel. And it gives me the same ick as Rocket Raccoons. And it's the same ick that I have for colorless people that blame black people and other POCs for their condition that they're in economically, but won't lay the fault at the colorless men that are in positions of power whom dictate their lives. I'm seeing that segregation doesn't seem that bad, and maybe we as black people should revisit that because I'm tired of the bullshit. It's just, if it's not the colorless, it's the colorless adjacents. And I'm tired of all of them. And I'm tired of the fucking excuses of absolute disrespect. And the fact that you can sit up here and do hairstyles and you want to take bits and pieces of the culture, but disrespect the people, fuck you. That's where I'm at with it. And back to BTS. BTS is such a huge group. I mean, they're known worldwide. So to think that they didn't know what they were doing is a slap in black people's face. And everyone defending this can go straight to hell because there is no defense for this. Everybody knows what this is. I'm sorry. You are known for being a model minority. You are known for being up white people's ass. I didn't say all, I said majority. But this is right on brand for Asian people, especially Korean. Okay. I don't think they know how they are seen in the world. And this is like right on brand. It's not a shock. It's not, this is not something that's surprising. Like everybody, gasped or inhaled and just couldn't believe this happening. This is like right on brand. But I think the irritating part of this is the fact that you have the fucking audacity to then swagger check black people and use our music, our creation, our style to get a leg up. That's the disgusting part. Pick and choose one. Either put your fucking noses all the way up, colorless ass, and stay over there, live there. Or get some fucking knowledge and respect and put some respect on black people's name and our image and our contributions and everything, because K-pop is not Korean music. It's just Korean people. It's damn near a minstrel show. Well, let me put it like that. That's what it is. It's somebody, it is akin to a fucking minstrel show that you are putting on a whole costume. You're not inspired by shit. You are literally ripping off black people, putting us on like a fucking costume and making money doing it. And you're saying it in a different language. The dances are even, and they're getting fucking paid for this. But okay, I'm gonna leave it right here. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the poor BTS boys, they had no idea? They just walked into this, they're Korean. What do they know about American, history? They had no idea. They just knew about the 7 Korean immigrants. They didn't know. It was their management. And BTS stands need not apply. I'll see you in the next one.